Hi there, this is Tony from pianotone.ca, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate a really cool and free app from Yamaha called Chord Tracker. I've been planning to demo this app for a while now, but I actually just found out about some things that this app can do that I didn't even know about until now. And when I found out about those, I immediately started working on this review. Now, one thing to mention at the outset of this video is that some of the features I'm going to be going over don't require a connection to a compatible Yamaha keyboard, but some of them do. And the kicker here is that I can't find a list of what keyboards are fully compatible with Chord Tracker online anywhere. So I can only speak for sure for the two keyboards that I've tested in this review, which are my Yamaha DGX 670 digital piano and my Yamaha PSR EW425 keyboard. So the main feature of Chord Tracker is something I've been using it for a couple of years now, which is to analyze an audio file of a song and build a chord chart for you that you can play along with. This is super cool, and you can even do things like transpose to different keys and alter the speed, beats per minute, etc. I play in a blues band that often covers some kind of obscure songs that you can't always find chord charts for online, so this has been a super useful tool for me in being able to learn these songs quickly. And one of the reasons I'm so familiar with this part of Chord Tracker is that this piece of the app is actually built right into Yamaha's Smart Pianist app, which I've covered a bunch on my channel. But as it turns out, there's a couple of extra features that aren't included in the Smart Pianist version of Chord Tracker that are included in the standalone Chord Tracker app. And those are the ones that I just found out about, and both of those do require a connection to a compatible Yamaha keyboard to be able to work. So what are the features that I just found out about? The first of those is that if you are connected to a compatible Yamaha, is you can play along with the audio file you've loaded and record your play along with the audio file into a new audio file. And if your keyboard has a mic input, like my DGX 670 or PSR EW425 do, then you can even record your vocals as well. As far as what Yamaha keyboards this feature will work with, as I mentioned at the start, I only tested this feature with my two Yamahas, and this feature did work with both, but I'm betting that this feature will probably work fine with any Yamaha keyboard that has an audio interface built into the USB port. So that would include the P225, the P145, the P125, P121, and then the PSR E373 and PSR E473, and among others. So that alone is a pretty awesome feature, but there's another awesome feature, and this one will require a connection to a Yamaha keyboard with advanced arranger features. So built-in drum beats and auto accompaniment. Why am I saying advanced arranger features? Because this feature works really, really well with my Yamaha DGX 670, but it doesn't work with my PSR EW425. So I'm betting that this feature probably will work with the higher-end Yamaha arrangers like the PSR SX series. So what is the feature? If you have Chord Tracker connected to a Yamaha with compatible arranger features, then you can have the app analyze the audio file, build a chord chart like it usually does, but then you can export that song's arrangement and chord changes into a MIDI file to your keyboard, choose an arranger style from your keyboard, and then have the keyboard play that song back to you using the style. That's a super cool feature. So for this video, I will be demoing all of these features with my Yamaha DGX 670 piano, since everything works really well with it. I will quickly demo the audio over dubbing feature with my PSR EW425, since that feature does work with that keyboard. And then I'll go over what happened with the PSR EW425 when I tried to do the MIDI export feature to it and it failed. But anyways, that's what Chord Tracker can do for you, and it is a free app, so I highly recommend you just go download it and check it out. And if you want to see me demo all of this stuff, then stick around, keep watching, and let's check out Yamaha Chord Tracker. Okay, so when you run Chord Tracker, you're going to be at the home screen. On the left, you're going to see music. This is all the music that is in the music app on your device. So in my case, you're seeing all the music that I've got on my iPad that I've synced to it from iTunes. Demo songs is going to include songs that are just included with Chord Tracker. Then there's a favorites section. If you happen to have flagged any of your songs as favorites, they'd be listed in here. Then if I go to user songs, this is going to list any audio files you've imported directly into the app or just recorded using the app. The instrument menu is going to display the name of the current instrument that's being connected, which is, if it's recognized, which in my case is the Yamaha DGX 670 piano. Then there's a settings menu, which I'm going to go through later on in the review. So I'm just going to go back up to the music section. And I'm going to choose piano tone as the artist. And then there's a single in here, Walk With You. I've actually already analyzed this song with Chord Tracker. So when I click on it and go into it, you're going to see that it's already there. But if I hadn't analyzed it yet, then when I opened it, it would just look like this. So I'm just going to reanalyze it, and it's going to be the same thing. So it's analyzing the audio file. And now it's built a chord chart for it. There's a whole bunch of C chords right at the start, but then you can see all the chord changes and stuff are in here. So super, super cool. Now over on the left, I've got controls for rewind, play, fast forward, all of that kind of stuff. And then there's also a record button, which I'm going to get into in a minute. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit past the intro, and I'm just going to play a little bit of this song. So you can see it's scrolling along as it plays and showing you the proper chords. So that's really, really awesome. Now, if you look at the bottom, you can click on the staff notation if you wanted staff notation of the current chord that's being played. So it's on a D minor right now. Now, if I choose keyboard, it's going to actually show you how to play that chord. Super cool. If you're using this with a guitar, you can actually even see how to play that, how to finger that for a guitar. I'm just going to put that back to keyboard here. Now on the left, you can also adjust the tempo, so you can adjust the BPM to different rates and speed it up, slow it down if you want. Super, super cool feature is you can transpose it as well. So for example, I'm going to move this up 2 steps. And you can see when I did that, it adjusted the entire chord chart. So instead of D minor in there, or instead of C at the start, it's now D, and instead of D minor in that one spot, it's now E minor, etc. So it's transposed the whole song, which is really, really awesome. Now, keep in mind when you do that, it's gonna, if there's vocals, they're gonna start to sound funny because they're being moved up as well. Suddenly, my voice has gotten a little bit higher. But if you do want to practice a song in a different key, because let's say, like with my blues band, if they say that they want me to learn such and such song, but we're going to play it in this key, then I can at least do that and practice along. Now you can also, let's say you don't think Chord Tracker has analyzed the song quite perfectly, or let's say you just want to play a slightly different chord in a certain spot. You can hear it when I tapped on that E minor chord that it actually played an E minor chord with a little piano sound, so I can hear it. But I can switch it to, let's say I want to play an E minor 7. I can even go in here and I can just say, you know what? I'm going to play an entirely different chord in here. So I can actually adjust that chord if I want to whatever I want. So super cool feature. And this, of course, has no effect on the audio file. Now you're also going to see a melody suppressor at the bottom, which you can turn on or off. This is supposed to remove the vocals from songs. I have never found this to actually work in this or any other app very well, so I never even bother with it. Okay, so back to the record button. Now remember, this is one of the Chord Tracker features that does require a connection with a compatible Yamaha keyboard. So I'm going to rewind this to start of the song here. It's just the intro, which doesn't have any vocals in it. Then I'm going to play along with the start of the song, and the mic I'm using right now to record this video is actually connected to the DGX. So anything that I say or sing into this mic is also going to get included in the recording that's happening on Chord Tracker on my iPad. So I'm going to press record, and then once I want to actually starts flashing, and then once I want to actually start recording, then I just hit the play button. And then when I hit stop, we'll see what happens after that. So that was going to be added to the audio song, as is the speaking that I'm doing right now. So I press stop. It's going to prompt me if I want to save the song or discard it. I'm just going to hit save, and I'm just going to accept the default name that it's put on here. So now it's reloaded that recording that I just made. So you can see this chord chart's really small because I only recorded a few seconds, and it's reanalyzed it, and let's see what we got. I'm just going to hit play here, and I'm not going to say anything. So anything that you hear of my voice is coming from the recording. So that was going to be added to the audio song, as is the speaking that I'm doing right now. So you can hear that it added in the vocals as well as the extra little piano bit that I played. So that is a very cool bit of functionality. Now I wanted to also test this on my Yamaha PSR EW425, and it does work perfectly well on that keyboard too. Here's a quick demo of the identical test on the 425. And this is me talking. And this is me talking. Okay, so back on the DGX 670 again. Now I'm going to go back to the original song. So back to the music menu and to the original song analysis. Now if I tap at the three dots up at the top, another menu is going to open up. The first choice is send to instrument. This is that other super cool feature that requires connection to a compatible Yamaha with arranger features. Now if I tap send to instrument, it's going to prompt me for a name for that song that's going to be saved on my DGX 670. And if I want to, I can also even choose a style that's available from my DGX 670 that it's going to associate with that song. So I'm going to go into the ballads section here, pop and rock ballad, and I'll choose 90s cool ballad because my song is so cool. Then I'm going to click send. You're going to see on the menu on the DGX connected to the computer or smart device. Send the chord sequence. Yes. Currently communicating with a computer connection something or other on my DGX, so it's sending that file over to my piano. And once it's finished, Chord Tracker just goes back to where it was without doing anything. But what it has done is copy a MIDI file containing this audio song's entire arrangement and chord changes to my DGX 670. So on my DGX, now if I press the select button up in the song menu here, and I go to user, and I see there's a Chord Tracker menu now on my DGX. I'm going to hit enter to go into that, and you can see there's the song that got copied over. So I'm going to select that, and then hit exit to go back out to my to the main menu. Now, some things to note here is, of course, the vocals aren't going to be included because this is just a MIDI file that got sent over that came in with the chord changes. So if I go up to the song menu again, so I've opened up the score menu, and you can see the score of the song. So right now it's just a C chord. There's a big long introduction where there's a C chord. So I'm actually going to advance the song a little bit here. So just to a measure before the first chord change where that D minor is. So it's going to be in this spot here. Now when I press play, it's basically you're just going to use that 90s cool ballad style and start playing the chord changes that got sent over to the DGX in the file. So let's check this out. Now if I trigger different chords by playing the DGX, then the DGX will follow what I've triggered. So I'm going to just trigger something weird like I don't know, an E minor chord here. So you can hear it changed, but it will continue to follow the MIDI file if I don't do anything. So if you do play a different chord, then it is going to change. Now you can hear that it actually changed right there, the variation. It picked up some intensity. You look at Chord Tracker, see where the color changed here? That's the exact spot where this picked up intensity. And that's because there's a feature in Chord Tracker that tries to detect sections of a song. And it did that perfectly. And that's why the variation automatically changed on the MIDI file that was playing on the Yamaha. So super, super cool. So the next thing you might be wondering is, now that I've got this video on my DGX, can I edit the MIDI recording? Well, to be honest, diving down that topic here would make this video 3 hours long. So I'm going to leave that for another potential video down the road sometime, because there's still some more to talk about with the Chord Tracker app. But before I move on, does this feature work with the PSR EW425? Well, I was expecting it would, but I couldn't get it to work. There is a chance I might be doing something wrong here, but I couldn't figure it out. But let me describe what happened. If I followed the same procedure from Chord Tracker and went send to instrument, it looks like it's working. I get the menu to name the song and choose a style from the 425's list. And while it's copying, the 425 screen says it's in communication mode, so everything looks exactly the same, looks like it's working great. And when I load the song on the 425, it will show the correct name on the screen on the 425, the correct number of measures, and I can click play, and it will play, and I'll see the chord changes being displayed on the 425 screen, but I don't hear anything. I looked online for help with this issue, and I couldn't find anything, so I have no idea if I'm missing a step or doing something wrong, but turns out when I follow this procedure with the 425, I get a .usr file, which is a Yamaha file type. I looked at the file that got created on my DGX 670, and it is actually a normal MIDI file. So I thought, I'm going to try loading that MIDI file from my DGX, copying it to a flash drive, and then moving it over to the 425, and then see what happens. Well, it loads fine as well, just like that USR file that came direct from Chord Tracker. It shows the file name, the number of measures, and everything. But when I play it, same thing. You see the chord changes scroll by as they should, but once again, no sound. So to be honest, I have no idea what's going on there. So as far as this exporting MIDI feature goes, all I can say is it works fine and I guess easily on the DGX 670. I guess right out of the box would be a good way to say it. But on the PSR E-Series, it either doesn't work, or if it does work, I'm doing something a little bit wrong or missing a step, and it requires a little bit of extra tweaking to get it to function. I have a feeling it will probably work fine on the higher end PSR arrangers like the PSR SX series, since I think those are more like the DGX's architecture, but I haven't tested it on those, so I can't say for sure. If I figure anything more out on this issue with 425 down the road, I'll definitely post an update. Okay, so now I'm going to go back out to the main menu again here in Chord Tracker. And if I go to the settings menu, there are a couple of things here worth mentioning. I can turn on simple chord. Right now it's off. What this is going to do is just basically, instead of giving me, let's say it detected a D minor 7, add 9 or something, it's just going to give me a D minor. So if you're a beginner, that's actually pretty useful because you can start getting through a song that might have some complicated chords with simpler versions of the chords. And if you want, as your skills progress and as you get more familiar with the song, then you would be able to go ahead and turn the chord simplification back off again, reanalyze the song, and start to try to play it with your D minor 7 add 9s instead of the D minor. So next thing here is that section estimator. Remember when I was talking about how it picked up that one spot in the song where it decided that the section has changed? And it actually, when I exported the MIDI file, it inserted a change in the variation on the Yamaha DGX 670. So that was super cool. And then the recording format, this actually defaults to AAC. I would recommend changing this to WAV. AAC is higher quality than an MP3 and takes up much less space than a WAV does, but a WAV is going to be a higher quality file. So space is cheap nowadays. I would highly recommend switching that to WAV. And the last thing to mention in the settings menu is there's this Dropbox option. This is where you can associate your Chord Tracker app with a Dropbox account that you have. And you can get a free Dropbox account that you can use for this, so you don't have to go buy a subscription or something to Dropbox to be able to use it. Well, this is actually my only complaint about Chord Tracker. The only way I can get a WAV file into Chord Tracker that is not a song from my music library on my device. So basically, if it's a audio file that isn't in your iTunes library, the only way to get it into Chord Tracker is to copy that WAV file to a Dropbox account first on your PC, and then associate your iPad Chord Tracker apps with your Dropbox account, and then you can download that track into Chord Tracker. So for example, if I go back to user songs and I click this download button, it's going to look in my Dropbox account to see what files are there. So these are files that I've uploaded to my Dropbox account, and then I could download those into Chord Tracker and have it do the analysis, etc. So I was actually hoping that I'd be able to go into my files menu on my iPad and then choose whatever song or MP3 file. This is an MP3 file, and then click the share app, and then there's this open-in feature on an iPad. I was hoping that Chord Tracker would be included in this list. Smart Pianist actually is, so you can do this with Smart Pianist, but with Chord Tracker, it's not included in this list. And I looked online to try and figure out a way to get Chord Tracker into this list, because if you could, then you'd be able to get this MP3 file into Chord Tracker this way instead of having to have a Dropbox account, but I couldn't figure out how to get Chord Tracker added to this list. So once again, not sure if that's possible. Maybe it is, and I just don't know how. But that would actually solve the Dropbox issue if you're able to do that. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you found the content useful. If so, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. That does really help me out. As always, I've left some links in the description below to some online piano training that worked really well for me that I can highly recommend. And I've also left a link to the video for my original song, Walk With You, that I was demoing in this review, if you want to check that out. So thanks again for stopping by. Happy chord tracking, and have an awesome day.